Book 12. Number 1. All these things which you wish to achieve by an indirect road, you can have now if you allow it. If you will take no notice of the past, trust the future to Providence, and direct the present to living piously and justly. Piety means being content with the lot which is assigned, for nature designed it for you, and you for it. Justice means always speaking the whole truth, and conducting yourself according to the law, and in a manner that respects everyone's worth. Let neither another person's wickedness, perception, or voice hinder you, nor the sensations of your own body. When you near death, neglect everything else except your ruling faculty and the divinity within you. If you should be afraid, it should not be because you must cease to live, but that you never lived according to your nature. Then you will be someone worthy of the universe which produced you, ceasing to be a stranger in your world and not surprised at daily events or dependent on external things. 2. The gods see everyone's true minds, free from all material investment and impurities. They connect with the pure intelligence within us, and if you do the same, you'll avoid any troubles. Ignoring your physical body means you won't worry about clothing, housing, fame, or other external appearances. 3. You are composed of these 3 things: body, life, and intelligence. Of these, the first 2 are yours so far as it is your duty to take care of them, but the third alone is truly yours. If you separate from yourself from whatever others do or say, whatever you have done or said, whatever future things trouble you if they should happen, and whatever envelops the body or in life which is nature associated with the body preordained by fate, and whatever external circumfluent vortex whirls around, your mind can live pure and free, doing what is just, accepting what happens, and speaking the truth. If you separate your mind from your sensory perceptions, those things of the past and the future, you will make yourself like the sphere of Empedocles, all round and in its joyous rest reposing. If you strive to live your life, that is, the present moment, then you will be able to pass that portion of life that remains for you up to the point of death, free from perturbations, nobly, and obedient to the divine essence within you. 4. I have often wondered how people love themselves more than others, but value others' opinions more than their own. If a god or wise teacher should bid a man to think and plan nothing they wouldn't immediately express, they could not endure it even for a single day. So much more respect have we for what our neighbors think of us than what we think of ourselves. 5. How can it be that the gods, after having arranged all things well and benevolently for mankind, have overlooked that some very good people, who have had the most intimate communion with the divinity through pious acts and religious observances, died, should never exist again, but completely cease to exist after they die? If this is so, be assured that if ought to have been otherwise, the gods would have done it. For if it were just, it would also be possible. And if it were according to nature, nature would have done it. But because it is not so, be convinced that you should not have been. By inquiring, you are disputing with the gods who are most excellent and just. They would have not allowed anything in the ordering of the universe to be neglected unjustly and irrationally. 6. Practice, even in those things that cause despair when doing. For even the left hand, which is ineffectual for all other things want of practice, holds the bridle more vigorously than the right hand when it has been practiced in this. 7. Consider in what condition someone's body and soul is when overtaken by death. Consider the shortness of life, the boundless abyss of time, past and future, the feebleness of all matter. 8. Contemplate the true nature of things beyond their coverings, the purposes of actions. Consider what pain, death, and fame are. Understand this: we ourselves are the cause of our uneasiness. No one is hindered by another. Everything is perception. 9. Apply your principles like a wrestler, not a gladiator. For a gladiator is killed when they let their sword fall, but the other always has their hands and needs to do nothing else but use them. 10. See what things are in themselves, dividing them into matter, form, and purpose. 11. What power has man to do anything but accept what the gods will approve, and to accept all they give him? 12. With respect to what happens conformably to nature, we ought to neither blame the gods, for they do nothing wrong either voluntarily or involuntarily, nor people, for they do nothing wrong except involuntarily. Consequently, we should blame nobody. 13. How ridiculous, and what a stranger, are they who are surprised at anything which happens in life. 14. Either there is fatal necessity and invincible order, a kind of destiny, or chaos without purpose, organization, or ruler. If there is an invincible necessity, why do you resist? But if there is a destiny which allows itself to be pacified, make yourself worthy of the help of this divinity. If there is chaos without a governor, be content that in such a tempest you have a ruling intelligence. And even if the tempest carries you away, it can only carry away the flesh and the soul, but not your intelligence. 15. The light of the lamp shines without losing its splendor until it is extinguished. Shouldn't the truth, justice, and temperance that is within you last until your death? 16. When someone seems to have done wrong, then consider, how do I know if this is a wrongful act? And even if they have done wrong, how do I know that they have not condemned themselves, which would be like tearing his own face? Expecting a bad person not to do wrong is like not expecting a fig tree to bear fig juice, or figs they produce, or infants to cry, or horses to neigh, and whatever else must of necessity be. For what must a man do who has such a character? If you are therefore irritable, work on improving your own disposition. 17. If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. 18. In everything, observe what creates your perception and resolve it by dividing it into the formal, the material, the purpose, and the time within which it must end. 19. Realize you have something better and more divine than those things that affect your emotions and compel you to act in ways contrary to your nature. Ask yourself, what do I have on my mind? Is it fear, or suspicion, or desire, or something else of the kind? 20. First, do nothing inconsiderately, nor without a purpose. Secondly, make your acts refer to nothing else than to a social end. 21. Consider that before long you will be nobody and nowhere, nor will any of the things exist which you now observe, nor anyone who is now living. For all things are formed by nature to change and perish, in order that other things in continuous succession may exist. 22. Consider that everything is perception, and that it is in your power to change your perception. When you choose to take away your perception, you'll be like the mariner who has doubled the promontory that he will find a calm, stable, and wakeless bay. 23. Any activity, when it has ceased at the proper time, suffers no evil because it has ceased, nor does the person who performed it. In like manner, then, the whole of our life, which consists of every act, if it ceases at its proper time, suffers no evil because it has ceased. The proper limit nature fixes on life, sometimes in old age, as in the case with people, but through the cosmic nature are all parts of the universe kept forever young and perfect. And everything that is useful to the universe is always good and in season. Therefore, the termination of life is no evil. It is not shameful, since it is both independent of your free will and not opposed to general interest. But it is in fact good, since it is congruent with and profitable to the seasonable changes of the universe. By accepting in your mind this natural alchemy of nature, you move in alignment with it. 24. These three principles you must have in readiness. First, in your actions. Do nothing either inconsiderately or contrary to justice herself. With respect to external events, consider that it happens either by chance or according to providence, and you must neither blame nor accuse either. Second, consider what every being is from seed to soul, and soul to dissolution, and of what everything is compounded and into what things it is resolved. Third, if you should suddenly be raised up above the earth and look down on human activity, observing their variety and greatness, and at the same time notice how great is the number of beings who dwell in the air and the ether, know that as often as you should be raised up, you would see the same things, form and shortness of duration. Are these things to be proud of? 25. Cast away perception, and you are saved. Who then hinders you from doing so? 26. When you are troubled about anything, you have forgotten that all things happen according to the universal nature. Someone's wrongful act is nothing to you. Everything that happens has always and will continue to take place everywhere. How close is the kinship between a person and the whole human race, for it is a community, not of blood or seed, but of intelligence. Every person's intelligence is a god and a part of divinity. Nothing is your own. Your children, your body, your very soul came from the gods. Everything is perception. And lastly, that everyone can only live in and lose the present moment. 27. Regularly recall those who have complained greatly about anything, and those who have been most conspicuous by the greatest fame, misfortunes, enmities, or fortunes of any kind. Then think, where are they all now? Smoke, ash, and a tail, or not even a tail. Let there be present in your mind everything of this sort, how Fabius Catulinus lived in the country, and Lucius Lupus in his gardens, and Stertinius in Baiae, and Tiberius in Capri, and Rufus in Velia. Consider how the eager pursuit of anything with pride is worthless, for it is better to use the opportunities present to you to show philosophical understanding and wisdom. 28. To those who ask, where have you seen the gods? Or how do you know they exist and so to worship them? I respond that they can be seen with the eyes when observing the celestial bodies in the sky and the effects of their intervention in the material world. My own soul, like the gods, while I have not seen it, I understand and I honor it. 29. The safety of life rests in examination of everything to understand its properties and purpose. With all your heart, act justly and always speak the truth. Then what's left is to enjoy life by joining one good thing to another, without leaving even the smallest gaps in between. 30. There is only one sunlight, even though it's blocked by walls, mountains, and an infinite number of other things. There is one common substance, though it is spread across many different bodies, each with its own qualities. There is one soul, though it is shared by countless natures and living beings. There is one intelligent soul, though it seems divided. In the examples mentioned, everything like air and matter are without sensation and can't cultivate fellowship. However, the intelligent principle holds them together and draws them toward unity. The mind, in a special way, is drawn to and connects with its kin, the intelligent principle, keeping its communion. 31. What do you wish for? To keep living? Do you want to feel, move, grow, and then eventually stop growing? To speak? To think? Which of these things seems truly to you worth desiring? If you find it easy to set little value on these things, then focus on what remains, to follow reason and God. But it is inconsistent with honoring reason and God to be troubled because by death a man will be deprived of the other things. 32. Each person is given only a fragment of the endless span of time, only to disappear into eternity. We are made of just a small part of all matter, a small part of the universal soul, and live on but a small part of the earth. Reflecting on all this, realize that nothing is truly great except living according to your nature and accepting what the universe brings. 33. How does your rational faculty make use of itself? Or this is what truly matters. Everything else, whether in your control or not, is nothing more than ashes and smoke. 34. This reflection is designed to move us away from the fear of death, but even those who believe in pleasure is good and pain is bad would still face death without fear. 35. The man who believes that only what happens at the right time is truly good, to whom it is the same whether he has done more or fewer things in line with reason, and to whom it makes no difference whether he contemplates the world for a longer or shorter time, this person will not fear death. 36. You have been part of this great community. Why does it matter if it was for 5 years or 3? What is conformable to nature's laws is just for all. So why feel hardship if it's not a tyrant or unjust judge sending you away, but nature, that same force that brought you life? It's like an actor being dismissed from the stage by the director after their part is done. You might say, "But I haven't finished 5 acts, only 3. That's fine. In life, those 3 acts are the whole drama. The one who created the play decides when it has reached its natural conclusion. So, leave content, for the one who released you has been satisfied with your performance."